Hey everybody, it's Jeremy, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. This is our Path of the Damned Herald run, episode 27. We are in the Brass Citadel, messing around, about to go say hi to the Hazanui, I think. Because the Hazanui is just the leader here. The Ranganui is the overall leader, or is it's vice versa? I don't remember. It's one of them things. And let's immediately leave the brass. We're gonna go down. There's a little. Oh, Udi, you're so cute. A puppy. Pez. This puppy's name is Pez. He has plus 10% damage with melee attacks. Interesting. And he gets 5% of hits converted to crits. That's a very strong pet, my man. What do we got? We got plus 1 perception and 5% of hits converted to grazes. Oof. Man. We gotta keep an eye on Pez. In fact, to the point to where, yeah, I don't want to lose him. He going in the inventory. That's a good bit. Whale. It's a whale. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a mood. All right, Maya.
Ishi, quiet time. I'm listening. Your orders?
Did you see those awful verses by the kitchen?
They weren't that bad.
Rhyming Hazanui with Kablooey?
Several years,
I can't think of anything else that goes with Hazanui.
Agrasima for protecting me from the Dominels.
Me neither. That's why
Rosano
I leave
was
epics to the lore college.
Dumb shit.
Criticism is easier than creation.
See if we can pickpocket him. Ain't got shit.
Speak freely. What did you find, Ish?
Of course.
Ishi. Easily done. Can't take all the credit.
Nice. This is a nice
Easily
haul.
done. Can't take all the credit.
Well, apparently that was Verzano's ruby.
Captain,
All right,
not a problem,
swank.
Captain. You were saying? Ishi. Can do.
Nice. We got long
Your
arms.
orders?
Indeed.
Alright. This is Maya's Atsura. This is Maya's real patron, I believe. The man behind the desk regards you with attentive, unblinking eyes and a perfectly open expression. His smooth features make it hard to pinpoint his age, though the crinkles at the corners of his eyes suggest he's not especially young. He cocks his head, taking your measure. He pauses before speaking, just a little longer than seems normal. When he finally does, he crosses his forearms over his chest and gives you a slow, exquisitely courteous nod. The whole gesture is so perfectly choreographed that it seems he must have practiced it many times.
Watcher Nui, the Lord of Cadnua.
He gives you a sleek, half smile that reveals a row of perfect, pointed teeth. In his careful stare and the pause before he speaks, you recognize that he's studying you.
I'm not one for ostentation, but your remarkable display at Queen's birth suggests that you are an individual with skills, not mere style.
Diplomatic, that's kind of you to say.
Few with abilities like yours would be so humble about them.
His eyes shine with interest. He blinks, perhaps for the first time since your conversation began.
I am Atsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company.
It sounds like a significant title, but he is strangely emotionless. He might as well be describing the color of his clothing. For a trading company, you've got a very commanding presence in Nekataka.
And why not? Thousands of years ago, our people came from the archipelago. By one reckoning, we have as much claim on these islands as the Huana.
Oh my god, that's like... By some reckonings, the cradle of civilization spawned all of humanity, so we, Americans, have as much right to those locations as anybody. Like, fuck you. No, you don't, you piece of shit. Get out of here. He shrugs and waves a hand in the manner of someone politely dismissing a compliment.
Does all Rauatayan law work this way? Where is that mountain of Azada shells I misplaced thousands of years ago?
Right? Tekehu strokes his chin and idly glances around.
But our purpose here is trade.
He gives you that unusually placid smile again.
While our homeland is rich in saltpeter, the violent climate and rocky soils make it a poor source for most other basic staples. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests here.
He spreads his hands wide to include his rather plain, dim office. You know, this is something that I don't actually know about Rauatai. So I know the Amawans, right, are naturally from the Deadfire Archipelago. And I don't know what the dispersal... So, obviously, there's the event of the Ingwithans becoming gods. There's Ukaizo being lost. That whole thing, right? But I don't know if it's ever fully discussed when the Rauataians, right? I think they're the Sea Amawa versus the Island Amawa, right? Broke off and became their own separate group, because a part of me is really curious as to why they got invested in the homeland of Rauatai, right? We know now they've got large amounts of saltpeter there, used to make gunpowder. That's why they're such a force, but it's a harsh, inhospitable land, and that's kind of why their mentality is the way that it is. So, questioning that scenario, it's kind of like, but why did you end up in Rauatai? Were you forced out of the Deadfire Archipelago? Is that where you landed, or where that you know, like, group of Amawa escaped to during the events of I can't remember what the name of the thing is, but basically when Ukaizo was lost and the Ingwithans, you know, ascended to godhood, right? Is that all connected, or is there some other reason? Because normally you wouldn't You wouldn't flee to a place or be, you'd be pushed into a place of lesser value, not willingly go there. So I'm curious as to like what the core story of the Rowathians is. It's probably in some of these books. I'm considering doing like eventually like a big read through of all the books. I read some of them on occasion. It's one of those things where it's like in a CRPG, there's so many of them that I so often I get overwhelmed and I'm just like, it's too many, because they're normally clumped, right? You'll go into a library and there will be like 17 of them and you'll be like, oh god, and there's never. You know what? I will commit to this. The first goddamn time a CRPG puts a marker, puts like a checklist of, here, you found all the books, and you check off the books as I read them, right? Or open them, and that counts as having read them, and I can collect all the books. When you do that, I will read all your fucking books. God damn it. But I get into the, like, I can think of dozens of times playing Pillars of Eternity or Baldur's Gate or Planescape Torment or anything else where you read a bunch of the lore and then you play for a while and then you read some more of the lore and then you play for a while and then you pick up your book and you're like, did I read this book? Have I not read this book? This title sounds familiar, blah, 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 blah. I'm here hopefully to save up and pet the cat. This is the cat. He is available for the pets. Is the cat. How's it going? All right. It's my business to look after the mainland's interests. Sorry, I had a little tirade there. Spreads his hands wide to include his rather plain, dim office. It's an honor to meet you.
And it's a pleasure to meet someone of your elegant manners.
He dips his head, returning the sentiment.
I wish I had been there to see your grand entrance at the palace, but I avoid Serpent's Crown as much as possible. It is a place of entirely too much talk, and I find that the more talk one hears, the less it means.
He smiles. You're not exactly concise.
Forgive me. I deal with many different types of people. It's not always easy to discern what they're looking for.
His smile takes an apologetic slant, but his eyes are searching your expression.
Allow me to state my request.
He purses his lips and tenses his fingers.
The demand for luminous Adra has sent the Valian Trading Company into a frenzy.
Aha.
Their expeditions grow too bold, and their officers too greedy.
He puckers his lips as though a lack of discretion at a dinner party.
Worse, their rapid expansion attracts pirates and threatens the outlying Juana tribes. This risks souring the Kahanga royals against all foreign involvement.
He inclines his head like he's about to let you in on a secret.
But you can curtail their growth.
Insight. This isn't about the welfare of the Deadfire. This is about them outpacing you.
By snapping up land we need to grow food and build ships for our people? Indeed. But our interests and Deadfire's are not mutually exclusive.
He interlaces his long, well-manicured fingers.
The Valians have sent an expedition to Pococahara, a storm-wrecked island believed to house a vein of luminous.
So here's one of the things I will agree with the Rowathians in. The Rowathians are here for resources, but the culture and the attitude of the Rowathians seems to be more along the lines of cultivating for longevity, right? Are they colonialists? Yeah, kinda, semi-sorta. But their brand of colonialism seems to be more along the lines of work together and merge while dominating the natives for the benefit of all but mostly us. right? Whereas the Valians very much strike me as the massacre the buffalo just for the hides type of culture, right? The Valian trading companies are here and they care about like one or two things. Everything else be damned, right? They don't care about who they hurt. They don't care about the concept of using all the parts of the buffalo or integrating or uplifting the right there. Don't get me wrong, there are good pockets. There are good people in all of the groups, in all of the factions, and there are bad people in all of the factions. But if I have to like rank them, that's one of the reasons why I don't like the Valian Trading Company, is because the overall mentality with the company is just the dollar makes all, right? And right now, Luminous Audra is the dollar. That kind of concept.
I hear you accomplished an incredible feat in restoring the Luminous Audra near Port Mage.
He appraises you again with those unblinking eyes. Well, so like it's a little mix there, right? Colonialism at its core is pretty rough. It's not a very good thing, right? But there are different ways to go about it, and the Rowatayans seem to be more. Don't get me wrong, I still don't like them as a faction. They're still kind of bad, but the way they're going about things is more for the benefit of people, whereas the Valians just care about the money. Which makes it really easy to dislike the Valians.
Render it unusable to the Valians.
But see, that mentality, right? Like, he wants me to go to this place and basically screw up the thing that the Valians want.
This should
but that
encourage
doesn't
them
do
to
anything
the
to help
they
anybody.
Have, rather than reaching for more.
That's a bad mentality. His eyebrows rise a degree, both a request and an invitation. I'm going to say we'll see.
Deadfire is a tumultuous place. Consider the value of an ally with ships, cannons, and the backing of a great empire.
He gives you a soothing smile.
I do not have the precise location of Pococahara, but the tribe on the nearby island of Tikawara could probably help. I suggest starting there.
He circles a small, out-of-the-way island on your map.
Now, what else can I do for you?
What exactly is the Brass Citadel? He hesitates, looking at you as if the answer is obvious.
It's a trading post, of course.
Your trading post has high walls, cannons, and guard towers.
Anything worth building is worth protecting.
I'm going to ask that question again.
It's a trading post, of course.
What do you trade?
Rawatai is rich in saltpeter, copper, and a few other profitable minerals. We generally trade for food and timber, which grow poorly in the rough country.
The rough country is what they call their homeland. Yeah. So it's like they come from Britain. You know, it's saltpeter and rough land.
The Valians have become aggressive competitors in recent years, but our ships were plying the seas long before the Republic's declared independence. We learned the value of defending our goods and ships long ago.
He smiles placidly.
Clear skies.
He tilts his head as he watches you, his eyes unblinking. You seem different from the rest of the Royal Deadfire Company.
How do you mean that?
His eyes are attentive and utterly expressionless. You're hard to read.
It comes from years of practice. It's the only way I've learned to beat Karanui at Hazatoa.
You seem different from the
rest.
rest.
How do you mean that?
Come on, you know exactly what I mean. He lowers his head, watching you all the while.
Are you making advances at me?
He still has not blinked. No.
It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment.
He's not saying no. He's just saying, okay, fine. We're done with that.
Your order, just say the word.
Oh, right. There is a...
You were saying?
That seems incredibly unlikely.
Ishi. Quiet time.
I guess if I came over here and did something like this, we'll just test this out. Let's see.
Your orders?
Monsters of the Deadfire Archipelago.
You were give me the order.
I'm not gonna reset every time that I use a distraction bomb and it doesn't give me something good. Maybe if I begin to like run low, I will, but for now it's fine. Sabormi is a young woman with a bright, wide smile and eyes to match, raises her hand and gives you a quick but enthusiastic wave. Then, with an exaggerated look of embarrassment, she stops herself and crosses her forearms over her chest.
I always forget that part. Say, you're the Watcher of Cadnua, aren't you? I've never met anyone famous before. Except the Hasanui. She yells at me sometimes.
Hazanui is Admiral. Ranganui is, like, Emperor. Are you always this excitable?
It's just, this is my first time away from the rough country.
Nice.
I'd heard there were thick, green forests and sandy beaches without a storm in sight, but I never imagined this.
She shakes her head in wonderment.
You must have traveled lots, seen all sorts of amazing places.
Sabormi folds her hands under her chin, watching you intently. And had adventures you wouldn't believe. See the world, Sabormi. Travel is grand.
I sure hope to.
Hey, Frail, how's it going? What have you been up tonight? Up to tonight? Ugh. World of Warcraft? You're playing World of Warcraft? Oh my shit. Oh my shit. They hit you with a raid? It should totally, like, if you raid someone, it absolutely shouldn't, like, it shouldn't throw an ad at you. That's fucked up. Yo, yo, yo! Thank you for the follow, Goshushin. How's it going? They announced TBC, or it leaked anyway? Ooh. Oh, man. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Odie boy, you get the pets. It's like, what? I'm trying to sleep. Pop. Pop. Cool, cool. Yeah, it is unfortunate how little control you have over your ads. Is good. So you're working, getting prepped for Burning Crusade?
I'd love Rawatai, but it's hard to go a week without seeing storms or hearing about mudslides burying a village somewhere.
Yeah, it's totally hard to not hear about mudslides killing people. Fuck. Her buoyant expression sags, but only for a moment. The Hazanui yells at you.
Oh, all the time.
All the time. You and the homies are leveling up? Ah, nice, 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 nice. Cool. What are you leveling? Imagine being an Axel main. Hey, there is nothing wrong with Axel. Thank you very much. Mage like a degenerate. Hey, I've lived the mage life before. The jorts are the best part. Oh. She screws her face up into a look of mock seriousness. Still, she can't keep from smiling.
Where's my white leaf? Stop daydreaming. Sabormi, if you lose the ledgers again, I'll have you clean the latrines.
At this last comment, she leans close, her eyes wide and voice low with awe.
All this time, I didn't realize she knew my name.
Nice. You gotta unfollow now? No, Axel. Oh man, Axel's my fave. Got a bunch of buddies together. Gonna make a guild. Ooh, yeah. It's so... I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. Having 25 or 24 friends to make a guild is a little rough still, but it's so much more attainable rather than the old 40 mans. So, because you and Axel have similar hair. Nice. All right, have a good one, Natty. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Oof. It's actually, like, legitimately the reason why I like Axel is because it's Axel Rose, right? In theory. And Rose is my last name. So it's just, it always made sense. Ugh. You like him because he's sick? Yeah. I mean, that too, obviously, right? But it's just so I come from that era where, like, seeing the influences of, like, popular figures in games is like, Axl Rose's real name is William Bruce Rose Jr. Nice. You're the quartermaster. Can you sell me something? She scrunches up in disappointment.
I really wish I could, but my supplies are for the Royal Deadfire Company and our allies.
If we get high enough reputation, we can,
maybe if you impress her or Atsura, they could make an exception.
Nice. Old Bill.
I'm listening. Aye, aye.
Let's see if we can pickpocket Sabormi. We can. Correspondence between Captains Reki and Mascoro. To the oft-admired but questionably attired Captain Reki. This letter should reach the Brass Citadel long before I do, which is lucky for you, because you'll need the time to make some Hazatoa winnings to settle our last bet. Never challenge a captain of the Rukwapa Choro Colonel spitting contest. What? My eldest knitted a pair of those fancy socks you love, though I hear Deadfire is the kind of place where it's nice to feel the sand between your toes. Maybe it really is the haven everyone says it is. You'll know before I do. When you see our sails, have a pair of razor skewers, some auroch, and about 30 paloe nuts of varying sizes ready. In grand deeds and ill-advised ways, yours, Captain Mascoro. It's nice. It just boggles my mind that I'm having Maya steal all of this stuff. Goyle friend. So can we mention how the Emperor's name seems to start with Rong? It's Ranga. Yeah, the Ranga Nui. Yeah, it's interesting. You are told hi, Goyle friend.
I'm listening. Not a problem, Captain.
Recognize as the background Goyle friend.
And?
I don't know, just we're told hi.
Oh.
Hi. Oh shit. Don't get caught stealing.
Were saying?
Gotta re-stealth. She snuck into the shot. Yeah. Does that. That's just a pickaxe.
You were can do.
Happily.
What is in here? Oh, Weapon Master. I think we actually can train, hold on. Cat cam, but no girlfriend cam. See which one you love more? I think we actually talked about that at the beginning. Like, when I first started streaming, it was like, I should just turn this into a titty stream, basically. Right? It was a fun conversation. Alright, we got the Hazanui.
Captain, can do. Ishi. Quiet time.
Get those mad views, absolutely.
I'm listening.
My cat abandons me all the time.
Speak. Not a problem, Captain.
Okay, Hazanui. Will you stop moving back and forth? here we go. Hazanui Karu paces near her desk, looking like a shark circling the shadows. She clenches a long, elegant pipe between her teeth, the smoke trailing an acrid wake behind her. She looks up when you enter and favors you with a brief nod of acknowledgement.
The former Lord of Cadnua and one-time Terrifier of Harbor Masters. If dockside tales are to be believed.
She smiles briefly through the smoke.
You have not brought much good news of late.
Her pensive look returns.
So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters?
She bites down harder on her pipe. Rational. Yeah, vengeful god. I need to learn more before we speculate on his motives.
If your report is true, he's stumping port towns into craters. I don't much care why he's doing it. He must be stopped.
She halts, turns to face you. You're finally able to get a good look at her. She's not especially large from an Amawa, but she carries her shoulders high. Her weathered face looks to have seen many storm-blown and sun-beaten days on deck, yet her eyes are sharp and keen. That's why I came to you all at the palace. He waves a hand dismissively.
If there were help to be found at the palace, do you think Deadfire would be such a mess?
Yes, because it's not just the palace who's making a mess in Deadfire. Oofa doofa. And then we go back to a reason why I don't like the Rauatai. I don't like the Hazanui.
The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin, and the Huana will barely do that much.
The Huana are trying to walk a delicate tightrope between a bunch of foreign powers while maintaining their power and keeping their people alive. Though they do a shit job on some of those things.
No? Tell it to the water shapers who washed your stranded boats from sandbars, Hazanui.
Takehu folds his arms and waits.
Success in trade has been quite elusive for the Rauataians, but the bitterness suits you well.
Nice.
No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit.
She takes the pipe in her left hand. As she does, you notice her right is unusually still. What do you mean?
Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's mortar. It's largely free of rough weather.
She waves her right hand, and you notice again that her fingers remain strangely still. You realize it's an unusually fine prosthetic.
Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest.
She shakes her head.
It's a waste. Imagine what this place could be, with well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rauataians we could feed with plantations here.
I don't see how you're much different from the other powers here. A raspy laugh rattles from her chest.
The Valian Trading Company wants to leech every last coin they can from the Deadfire, no matter the eventual cost. They're little more than thieves.
That I can agree with. You can roll your eyes all you want, Pelagina, but it's fucking true. Pelagina's golden eyes begin rolling, but she catches herself by flicking her nictating membranes out and back again.
The Principi are actual thieves, no matter their pretensions of nobility.
Also true. I will say the one caveat for the Principi compared to the Valians is the Principi are actually intent on living here.
Aye, and honest about it besides. Also talented, charismatic, and spectacular betwixt the sheets.
The Hazanui briefly glares at him as if he's proved her point.
And the Juana are happy to let them all pick away at their fractured empire.
They're not happy about it. They're trying to survive.
Where you see fractures, I see the lines of age.
Lines big enough to sail the Valian fleet through.
She eyes Takehu before turning back to you.
We're interested in building something here.
Pipe in hand, she gestures expansively. What does that have to do with me?
If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, then we have a common goal. And if you're going to survive here, then you could use an ally.
A hint of a smile tugs her lips from her tar-stained teeth. What do you have in mind?
The disaster at Hasongo remains a key concern. We rely on the port there to ship food back to Rawatai.
She sucks on her pipe, hiding her worried expression behind a cloud of smoke.
That's on hold until you investigate. Short of that, there are other matters that demand attention. You've already spoken with Atsura. For now, I suggest you continue to work with him. I might have something for you later.
What's the game board for?
Hazatoa. Atsura and I usually have a game running, and this one's been going on for over a month and a half. Atsura's good at misdirection, but I've got a mind for the long game. You look like you've come with a purpose.
What happened to your hand? She extends her arm, holding the prosthetic between you. It's an exquisite piece, with reinforced joints in each of the fingers and a smooth, sanded finish.
It happened a year into my first command. We were chasing pirates along Rawatai's south coast, and they landed a shot right next to our magazine. A lucky hit.
He was quiet for a moment.
I ran below. The fire was already spreading and making for our powder stores.
Listen.
I smothered what I could with my uniform, pulled the rest away with my own hands.
If you hadn't, you and your crew would probably have died. He nods.
We don't get to choose our challenges, do we? Just the way we meet them. There's a cost to every victory. And the win goes to those willing to make a sacrifice.
She considers the wooden hand, turning it in the light. You sense satisfaction in her gaze.
I'll bet you already know a thing or two about that. And if you don't, Deadfire will teach you soon enough.
Sure will. Right, cool. That was pretty interesting. Let's go talk to Atsura real quick and see if after the conversation with the Hazanui, if he has anything new. I don't think though. I think we have to progress Hasongo before anything will happen with them.
Clear skies.
Correct. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that means we are done here, and now we are headed to Pariki's Overlook, I believe, to do a little bit more exploring. We're gonna save the Luminous Bathhouse for later, I believe, because that goes into Arkhamir stuff where we're not strong enough. And it goes into Lafa, Pride, Man of Chimes, Sorcerer and the Gentleman. So it goes into this, and we are not ready for that. So we're going to avoid the Luminous Bathhouse, but otherwise we are good to go.
Where are the walls? The artillery?
The Juana have a paradise, yet they do not protect it.
They don't have anyone to protect it against. But now you're here, and now the Valians are here. Now the Principi are here. All right. Let's quick save real fast. And then we are going to head to Pariki's Overlook. Just general. I think we've hit most of the places in Pariki's. except for the luminous bathhouse. So we might actually be okay. Which means it'll be time to head into the gullet, which is... Ooh, no, we still have to do the... we haven't done the Serpent's Overlook. So let's double check everything here real quick. I think we've done most of the stuff except for the luminous bathhouse. Definitely done those. We've definitely done that. We've done that. We haven't pickpocketed everyone.
Quench your thirst on the way. You were still as a pond. Not a problem, Captain.
Nice.
Speak freely.
I feel like I gotta go try to pickpocket everybody. Look. What are you doing down there, Odie? What are you doing? He's under this. What are you doing down there? Under that in like the weirdest position.
You were saying. Still as a pond. Ishi, quiet time.
Tuotio's palm. Mechanics is way too low.
Yes.
Okay.
At once. I'm here quietly now.
Oh. So we would need someone else.
I'm here.
I'm listening.
You need to be...
I'm here. I'll try my best.
Oh, shit.
I'd be glad to. I'm here.
Whatever. Okay, so we just got... This is the one that counts as a monk weapon, right? Yeah, brawling counts as an offhand weapon. That's really interesting. 10% chance of receiving melee weapon damage. To gain 1 wound. It's really good for Shodi, isn't it? Yeah, I remember this. Gives increased deflection and reflex per wound. 20% chance when you're missed with melee to do an instant counterattack. You get 5 accuracy to unarmed strikes. Okay, so this is the part where it wasn't that good, right? Brawling counts as an offhand weapon. Well, I say that because this is... I think this counts for that. Plus 10 damage with unarmed attacks. See, this is... Yeah, I don't think that matters. So this is interesting, but I think ultimately not quite what we want. That's okay though. It's a shield that we can sell for probably a fair amount of money. Oodie booty oodie.
Oi, lass, can you be learning me how to do that big blue sword thing?
Is this one of those colorful pirate expressions?
Nay, gods, nay. We're literal as a dear wooden score, ma'am.
In that case, no.
Wait, was the other case a yes? Because that's the implication, right? Otherwise, the answer would just be no, regardless.
Speak for you were saying. Still as a pond. You were saying?
You must gather.
I'm obsessed with pickpocketing now, y'all. It's become a sickness. It's become a sickness. It's become a sickness. I'm gonna do the dark covered because we have to go back there in a little bit. We go to Ulfers. Damn.
Your orders, not a problem, Captain. Ishi. Quiet, Captain. You were saying?
Okay. Alright. And yeah, I'm pretty sure otherwise we have done what is necessary here. So now it is time to head up to Serpent's Overlook. Serpent's Crown, right? Mad world. You're all ruffled, Odie. Who'd that
Most
down?
of the avian godlike I've met were poets and singers.
Which one do you think I am?
Oh, someone's egg rolled out of the nest.
Fucking shit. What does that mean? What does that mean, Maya? Someone's egg rolled out of the nest. That's fucked up. Takano. There's quests with one of these locations. Which though? An older Mataru man stands ringed by younger Huana, apprentices or pupils it seems. His robes shimmer with quartz beading and his perfume announces his presence from across the room. Yet beneath his finery he looks like a fighter gone to seed. Disused muscles flop from his arms, and flab pads him like so many layers of silk. Looks up and notices you.
Welcome. It is an honor to have one touched by Andra herself under my own roof.
He lowers his head, but he gazes beatifically at your aura.
And a beloved of Helia herself. Truly the gods favor me today.
He sucks in his paunch and flashes Pelagina an enormous toothy smile. Pelagina tries to muster a smile, but her obvious discomfort twists the expression into a twitching grimace.
What say? The handsome fish deserves no recognition?
Poor Takehu.
Tales of your capers precede you. I'll have you know that mine is a respectable house.
He gives Takehu a look that would be stern if it weren't so self-important.
For what do you come to my villa?
Beaming, he spreads his arms wide.
Nice house. Be a shame if someone nudged it over the mountainside.
The fuck, Maya?
You Rowattians have the strangest sense of humor.
He laughs loudly, but panic flickers in his eyes. Read Takano's soul. Your essence slips from your body, and Takano's soul enfolds yours like a warm, oily thing. As his fears and questions seep into you, your perspective shifts to his. At first, you worried this moon godlike before you had been sent by the Valian debt collectors. It'd be a low trick taking advantage of your famous hospitality, but then those Valians are crafty. Perhaps if your villa were bigger, then they might know that you are a man worthy of respect. Oh god. He's gone down the bad road. At least you have the shell. You tuck it away not only for safekeeping, but also because you are a little ashamed of it. Much could such a simple, ugly thing be sacred? How could such a simple, ugly thing be sacred to a god? But it was a gift from the queen, and so you keep it. Your gaze strays to the wall. Yes, you must knock down that section there, install a wide, grand window once you have the money. Retreat from Takano's soul to find him watching you with a placid smile. Farewell. So he's just lost it in his old age.
You were can do. Still as a pond. Ishi, quiet time. Still as a pond. Easily done. Don't mention it.
Or net of waves. Get the quest item before we have the quest.
Still as a pond.
That's about right. Takano's key.
I'll get that for you. Don't mention it. Still as a pond. Speak freely. Aye, I'm listening.
We'll find flail. Alright, goal here is to pickpocket Takano. Stiletto and turquoise. Turquoise! Jeez. Oh my goodness. Just pickpocketing everything. I love it.
Yes? I'd be glad. What can I do? Shh. Yes?
Alright, cool. Done and done. Cat. There's my cat. Oh man, I have got an 8 o'clock I gotta be at. That's not fun. Don't want that. Actually, after this video, I need to take a moment and send a message to my team. Muhai's estates. This. Go here. We investigate. So we've got this shell, and it's a quest item. I believe someone requires us to steal it from him.
Certainly.
At last. Akira, I have waited a second lifetime.
Holy shit. Oh. This lady's fucking dead.
There you are.
The spirit tilts her head, considering you. After a moment, she reaches a hand towards you. Yes, I'm real.
And what kept you? Why should I wait so long for Rikuhu's messenger? Or have you come as Berath's usher? The foreigners twist even our gods.
Should you not be a dwarf?
I'm not the usher. I'm a watcher.
Akira, I have not met one before. Nor will I again, I think. But you are here to take me away, are you not? Well, I refuse to go. Never will I move from this place until justice is done.
She stamps her foot soundlessly.
I follow Magrin's way. Yet sickness took me before my time. I died alone and without honors. It must be put right. My body cannot be left here to rot, forgotten. I feel it there like an itch.
Who were you?
I have been many things. And in performing my duties, I brought honor to my caste and to my kin. A sea captain, a great explorer, trusted advisor to the queen herself.
Just not someone who has very many friends or anything else, because you've been dead here for a while, I'm assuming.
Now, that is before I left the sea for the mountains to make maps and guide others. Chief Navigator. That is what I made of myself.
You know where you are.
I can see nothing in this place of death but distant lights. But I feel I must be close to where I died. I have not taken one step since the darkness came.
What's the last thing you remember?
The sickness. Days of it. Lying in my own filth as the disease withered me. I passed from wakefulness to sleep with every breath. But I knew it once when it was over.
How long? No one helped you? Is that why you haven't moved on? I could help.
Of course. Some kind of mistake was made, and now Magrin will put it right. I thank you. Please, search my home. My body cannot be far.
Indeed. Yes?
Letters. A meandering apology.
Absolutely.
Oh no!
Does no one know that this woman has died? Or have the Juana left her here for some reason?
So sad. Puppy dog. There's a doggy. Orphan dog. Oh, a kitty. +2 resolve and resistance to resolve afflictions. That's pretty good. No, stop it. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. Bad kitty. Up. -20 resolve affliction duration. So very specifically, if we run into some resolve issues, we use Eevee.
Indeed.
Onyx, Golden Soul. Arcanist Balm. Uhai's remain. The lifeless body of a Juana woman recovered from an estate in Crown. It just doesn't, like... She lives upon Serpent's Crown. I mean, she seems important. Why does no one know of this?
Have you found it? Akira, I hope I have not rotted away.
I found a body in the bed. I assume it's yours.
Yes. To think, a Mutaru of the Kahunga tribe left to die alone and forgotten. Unthinkable.
I'm starting to feel like I understand why she died alone and forgotten. However, I'm benevolent. I'll fix this, I promise.
In life, I would have faced any challenge. Now you are my champion. Magrin smiles upon your deeds. Take my body to the Temple of Magrin in the Sacred Stair. There is a great fire there that burns eternally. Burn my body there, so that it may be dedicated to Magrin in death. I cannot pass from this life until all is in order.
I tend to be the honest part of things. That isn't how this works. Find the Angevines and you will be released into the wheel.
You mistake me for one of the outsiders. What do the gods care for such things? No, we must go to the brazier. I cannot see the way, and so must follow you. Lead on, my friend.
Interesting.
Yes?
And I think we're supposed to have some trouble at her last request. All right, well, we've got a quest. Give me a quest. Give me a kitty. Give me a kitty. Give me a kitty.
I'll be half worried about our friends from the Reach, Maya.
They were doing fine without our help.
Say you know. Go too long without release, you risk the bits getting all clogged up.
We can only watch and pray they help themselves.
Oh, yeah? Alright, we've got a little bit more exploring to do. We've got Lady Apero's estate, which I think is where we get the Takano scenario from. And then we've got up here, which is actually a exotic sales, I think? I don't know what's up with Una's luxuries. Anyways, we're going to do some more exploring, but we will be doing that on the next video. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.